Hi, my name is Maria Polomonez, and I'm one of the psychologists from Paragon PsychConnect, and this is Brucey, my sidekick and co-presenter. Thank you for joining us for our Pain Facts series in September, the month of International Pain Awareness. One of the questions that a lot of our clients ask us is, why do some injuries hurt more than others? And to answer that, we're going to go into this idea of a map of the body and our brain. Did you know that our brain has a map of our body? Not an exact representation, but it is still there. So let's have a look at the two areas that it is mapped in our motor homunculus and our sensory homunculus. And the word homunculus is a Latin word for little man, which is the little chap in the top right-hand corner. So if our body was represented in the exact same dimensions as it is represented in our brain, this is what we would look like. We would have much larger hands, lips, mouth, and a much, much smaller body. And you may ask yourself, why is this the case? So if we look at the representation of our hands, it's quite a large representation in both the motor and the sensation area. Our legs, not so much. Our elbows, even less. And even though we do use them, we don't use them anywhere near as much as our hands. So if we had to look at the body part that would hurt the most, if we had a paper cut, which part do you think it would be? So let's look at the paper cut. Clearly, it would be our fingers, because it is the highest representation we have in our brain. The biggest space of our brain is donated to our fingers. So a paper cut on the fingers would hurt like hell. And if you've ever had one, you might grab your finger, you press on it, you scream, you shout, you swear, and then it disappears after a while. If you had a paper cut on your knee or your elbow, you may not even notice it because the representation is actually quite small in the brain. So what about other injuries to body parts that aren't there? Does the brain representation, the brain map, explain that? And the answer is yes, it does. Remember, we have this map in our brain and the leg is still mapped in our brain. Just because you've lost your leg in an accident or an injury, it doesn't mean that it's been scrubbed out of your brain. So it's still represented in the motor part of the brain and the sensation part of the brain. Hence why the brain is still reacting as if the leg is there. And it might reach down, you might find yourself reaching down to scratch it, or there's a ticklish sensation, or there's pain in that area, and you look down and you remember there is no leg. Your brain, on the other hand, is reacting not to your actual leg, but to the map of the leg in your brain. So yet again, the brain runs the show. Keep on top of what your brain and your mind is thinking and feeling, and look after your brain. If you'd like to know more about this and other pain facts, please feel free to contact us on our website at www.paragonpsychconnect.com.au, or even send us an email and ask us some questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you very much for your time.